I feel like I'm gonna get a lot of people pissed with this video, but I really don't care. This is Akira Toriyama. Akira Toriyama made Goku, Frieza, Cell, Majin Buu. He has also made Beerus, and he made Jiren. I think that's the extent of the villains he made, outside of, the obvious ones such as Devilman. He made Rayleigh, he made Dr. Slump. He's been making a lot of stuff during his life. He's dead. Yeah, there's no amount of money that can save you from the cold grip of the clutches of the Grim Reaper. He's gone. He's out of here. He is completely destroyed and annihilated. Akira Toriyama is responsible for so many things. Naruto, One Piece, Bleach. He is responsible for all three of these. He's the grandfather of the big three. That is what Akira Toriyama is. He is the hallmark of Battle Shonen. That comes everything after him is just a facsimile, a backrooms copy of what the beauty of what Dragon Ball Z was, to me personally. If you are a Battle Shonen fan, then Dragon Ball is the premier Battle Shonen to watch. Akira Toriyama has been dead for quite some time now, but Dragon Ball Z is nowhere near ending. They recently just announced they're going to remake Dragon Ball Super, the Beerus arc, and the Frieza arc as well, and we have Dragon Ball Z Xenoverse 3 coming out, and the illustrious Dragon Ball Sparking Zero Neo DLC is coming out one of these years. I don't know when it's coming out. I don't know. They didn't do any announcements. It's been a minute. They announced it and said, good luck, guys. Guess. There's also the Dragon Ball Super manga where they reveal Black Frieza. And as you know, Frieza went through all the forms of being a gay white man. Feel like I should elaborate the gay white man thing. Hold, give me a second. First form Frieza. That's a bottom. We see that? That's a bottom. Just starting the gay adventure. Second form Frieza. That's a top. Got sick of being a bottom? Maybe you wanted to be a top. Maybe you wanted to stick your little willy inside of the chocolate starfish. That's what you wanted to do. Third form Frieza. That's a drag queen. Bada bing, bada boom. We love to see it. Fourth form Frieza. That's a switch. We talking Nintendo right there. Japan loves Nintendo. Final full form Frieza, guess what? That's a power bottom. The true powerful way that a gay man gets to his full final form, but then gotta go back to drag. That's Golden Frieza. And the true form of a white gay man is taking the essence of AAVE and becoming a black woman. That's right, Black Frieza. So that's the full step of a gay white man. Frieza went through all that. But if you want like the narrative reason behind the forms, here are the narrative reasons behind the forms. First form Frieza was supposed to be Dragon Ball Goku, a small person that's underestimated and you don't really know the person's strength. Second form Frieza was supposed to be Demon King Piccolo. That's supposed to represent a bigger threat. That's why the demon horns are there. Third form Frieza was supposed to represent Raditz because it's an alien threat. That's why third form Frieza looks like an alien. And then fourth form Frieza was supposed to be Goku, a foil to Goku. It was supposed to be the full form purity of that. And then Golden Frieza was supposed to be, you guessed it, Super Saiyan. That's what it was supposed to be. And Black Frieza doesn't have any narrative cohesion at all because it just became a colors game at Super, so no one really cares about that. Dragon Ball Z holds a special place in my heart because every single black person on earth has seen Dragon Ball Z. Dragon Ball Z is kind of like the 2K of anime. It's the Madden of anime. It's like the Grand Theft Auto of anime. Everybody loves Dragon Ball Z that's black. It's just kind of how it operates. I think Dragon Ball Z needs to stop forever. I think that it is disrespectful to have the author of your work just pass away and you're still using his work as a money grabbing machine just for the sake of Japan's economy. It seems a little bit stupid. Generally speaking, I'm not even sure what we're doing anymore. The author is gone. It's just nothing. They're sticking their hand up the butt of the author and trampling all over whatever story it could have been made. Is what I would say if I didn't know Akira Toriyama as a person, realistically. This is the part that's gonna piss off a whole bunch of people because this is exactly what Dragon Ball Z deserves. Why did Akira Toriyama make Super Saiyan? I'm gonna explain why he made Super Saiyan. He got sick of shading in Goku's hair. Why did Akira Toriyama get rid of Goku's tail? He got sick of drawing the tail. Simple as that. That's why when the stands popped up, he wrapped the tail around their waist just to show that they were part of Goku's clan, Goku's race and lineage, but he didn't want to draw the tail, move around too much, thought it was too difficult. I could talk about everything during the Cell arc that was pissing me off and the fact that Akira Toriyama doesn't know how to write time travel good at all, but that's not my biggest complaint. Akira Toriyama was fully satisfied having this form of Cell be the final form of Cell. His editor wanted him to change Cell. His editor was the reason that he changed Cell, by the way. I don't know if you know that. It seems as though Dragon Ball Z was supposed to end at the Cell arc because the way they built everything up, the little bugs that gathered the DNA of Frieza, Piccolo, all these people going through Goku's final trauma, getting defeated, the Red Ribbon Army finally getting done, and then Gohan surpassing all of the past of Goku and becoming a new form, an ascended Super Saiyan 2 beyond that. That's what it was supposed to be. However, that wasn't the end of Dragon Ball Z, as we all know. Akira Toriyama, I imagine, is very money hungry. When you have something that works, why would you stop it? So then we got the Buu Saga. The Buu Saga sucked. Akira Toriyama can't write, and I mean this with my whole chest. I don't think he's a good writer. He's a good fight paneler. He makes amazing designs. I think he's great when it comes to making a good idea of a story, but when it comes to nook and crannies like time travel or the entirety of the Buu arc, he can't write. So with the Buu arc, we had Majin Buu. And Majin Buu was goofy, silly, he turned people into cookies. He was a strange cat, I'm not gonna lie to you. He's just a weird dude, big tubby guy. And then the evil Buu got out of there, and then we got Super Buu. And that was pretty nice. I like Super Buu that much. But then we got exactly what Dragon Ball Z became in the form of Kid Buu. Just kind of power scaling. This is how I know people don't care about Dragon Ball Z in terms of story. Because people think that Kid Buu is stronger than Super Buu with Gohan absorbed. There are people that will tell you with a straight face, well, Kid Buu is stronger than Super Buu with another person that was stronger than Buu absorbed inside of him. Kid Buu doesn't have anybody inside of him. How would Kid Buu be even remotely as strong as Super Buu? Nah, but he's more crazy and dangerous. He's more sporadic, and when he popped up, he blew up the earth. I'll give you he's more dangerous because he doesn't know what he's doing and he's just reacting on instinct. I'll give you that 100%. He's the most dangerous Majin. I'll give you that. But in terms of strength, Super Buu Gotenks absorbed is stronger than Kid Buu. Super Buu Gohan absorbed is stronger than Kid Buu because Super Buu Gotenks absorbed made Super Saiyan 3 Goku sweat. Super Saiyan 3 Goku was tussling with Kid Buu. I don't know what your problem is. I think it's because when it comes to villains, it goes scaling up. So whenever the newer villain pops up in Dragon Ball Z, it's always the next villain stronger than a previous villain. But that didn't happen with Dragon Ball Z because for some reason, people that watch Dragon Ball Z just don't have brain cells for some odd reason, I think. That's how I know Akira Toriyama can't write at all. That seems like a harsh thing to say because the writing in the Frieza saga, the Saiyan saga was amazing. I think Dragon Ball is pretty good, is what I would say if it wasn't just the journey to the West. I think Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z are phenomenal stories. I think they're amazing, and I would rewatch them 100 times over. I still will say that Akira Toriyama, without his editors, would be in the pooper. He got really money hungry when he made Dragon Ball Super. Oh my god, when he made Dragon Ball Super Dragon Ball The Beerus Saga, Battle of Gods, he was just getting money hungry. He said, oh, Goku's back, guys. And that just created this huge cultural phenomenon. In terms of modern manga and anime, I consider Demon Slayer and Jujutsu Kaisen to be responsible for why not a lot of newer age anime fans are getting into anime. That and My Hero Academia. But in terms of just legacy, in terms of respecting your elders, Dragon Ball Z is the one and only when it comes to why anime is even close to popular in all of this era. That and Final Fantasy VII. Final Fantasy VII is pretty much the only reason we have dubs in anime or JRPGs at all. Final Fantasy VII's success cannot be understated in any capacity, because with Final Fantasy VII, it being one of the most popular JRPGs of all time, we got dubs for games that didn't even matter. They were just trying to chase the coattails of Final Fantasy VII with radiated stories, and for some reason, I think there was another PS2 game, Wild Arms, as well. They were just trying to chase up the hype of Final Fantasy VII. That's why you got all these dubs from 4Kids and all these Funimation dubs for things like Cowboy Bebop and Trigun and One Piece, the 4Kids dub specifically. We got all these dubs for Naruto. It's because of Dragon Ball Z and the wild success it had. Those two things, Dragon Ball Z and Final Fantasy VII, created this large boom of success when it came to Japanese and Asian animation coming over to the West. However, with all this being said, Dragon Ball Z should just stop. I don't think art needs to have a purpose to exist for the most part, right? I think whatever the creative vision you have for a piece of art is your creative vision, and people can interpret that whichever way they want to. I view art in all forms as a way to connect to the artist. One of my favorite artists of all time is Oni Kora. This artist is amazing. I think they're amazing. They're a Phoenix-based artist, and I appreciate all the work that they do. If you want to follow them, they're on Instagram. They're pretty sick. They're an amazing artist. I think they're one of the coolest artists of all time, and I'm trying to get them to 10,000 followers because I think that she deserves it, realistically. But see, I use art as a way to connect to people. Art is valuable because it creates a communication barrier that is a communication bridge. It creates a communication bridge. It creates a communication bridge that allows me to see the vision of somebody and putting their soul onto a piece of paper. With Akira Toriyama, what I understood is that he had wanted to tell a beautiful mentor story about perhaps Sun Wukong and the journey to the West and how he interpreted that story. And that is just amazing to me. However, I'm not sure what Dragon Ball Z is now. I think it's just hype moments in aura, realistically. I mean, what is the point of Beast Gohan? I'm not sure if he's a Super Saiyan. I'm not sure why he has white hair. Did he unlock Ultra Instinct? Is this some new form? How are we going to explain this away? Oh, we can't because Akira Toriyama is no longer alive? I guess they can make up any explanation they want to. How is Piccolo as strong as all these other characters? Is it just because we like Piccolo that much? I guess so. There's not really an explanation behind that. Listen, if you're going to already explain the magic as you did with the tingly feeling in the back during Super, then I feel as though you should probably explain the other magic as well, because now I'm expecting explanations for the magic. It seems as though Japan is just money hungry for the coattails of beating a dead horse until it stops spitting out money. That is Dragon Ball Z. I fear they're going to do this same exact thing with One Piece. They're going to make all these side stories and background things when Eiichiro Oda dies. When Oda goes into the grave in between his life, it's going to be sad. Why did I say in between his life? At the end of his life. One Piece to me tells this amazing, outstanding, beautiful world building story, is what I would say if I didn't really pay attention to One Piece. I think One Piece is just a bunch of flashbacks at this point. I don't know. Oda's lost his touch. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I think this is the issue with letting something go on too long. You end up losing the original purpose and vision of it, and it becomes this idea more than it becomes the actual cohesive narrative of what it's supposed to be. So I want to point out how long it takes me to make a video, right? There's about 50 minutes of recording that goes into these videos. Now, I imagine this video is somewhere close to 20 minutes, but I recorded for 50 minutes. That's because I cut out 30 minutes of a bunch of garbage. If I were Akira Toriyama, I would make that 30 minutes into a side hidden narrative piece where you just saw me doing a bunch of this. Okay, so let me adjust the camera right here. Okay, all right, a little bit closer to me. Okay, hold on. Okay, we adjust the camera. We're good. Okay, this is me moving the camera. This is me moving the camera. That's another scene right there. I'm going to sit in that chair right there. I'm going to sit in that chair. Editor me, don't forget to put me in that chair. Obviously, you don't want to see all that random extra garbage, so I cut out all the fluff. Dragon Ball Z doesn't cut out any of the fluff, it seems. It seems just to be just letting this series go on as humanly long as possible just to squeeze out every single drop out of its tanks. Eventually, when you drain every nutrient from the body, you're gonna start getting poop. I don't think anyone that is a Dragon Ball Z fan cares though. We want Xenoverse 3. We want Sparking Zero. We want a Dragon Ball Z game where you can create our own character. We want to be retold the same story over and over and over again. If you play Dragon Ball Z Budokai, Dragon Ball Z Budokai 2, Dragon Ball Z Budokai 3, Dragon Ball Z Sparking Zero, Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi, Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi 2, Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi 3, Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, you know that in each of those games, you're gonna start off fighting Raditz. Every single time, you're gonna fight Raditz at the beginning. That's gonna happen in every single Dragon Ball Z game that you play. You gotta start off fighting Raditz. You're gonna go through the Frieza saga. You're gonna go through the Cell saga. You're gonna go through the Buu saga. That's just what's gonna happen. That's just naturally what happens, because the same story has been retold to you hundreds of times, but we keep letting it happen to us. This goes for Dragon Ball Z sagas as well. I'm not sure why people hate sagas. This was one of my favorite games growing up, and I replayed it recently on my gaming channel, Cyril's Plays. I think it's a good game. I think it's a fun game. I love Dragon Ball Z sagas. I think it's fun. It's even more fun when you got a friend to play with, where you can just goof around and play with them. The combos are really intricate, and I just love playing the game. It's just fun. We get far enough in the game, you unlock Broly, and Broly's just this big hulking mass of coolness. I love him a lot. I think Dragon Ball Z can be best described as one character and one character alone. Dragon Ball Z has always been and will always be to me and people that don't know what Dragon Ball Z is just Broly. I don't mean new Broly, the one that actually has a cohesive narrative and some actual story writing. I mean legendary Super Saiyan Broly is exactly what Dragon Ball Z is. It doesn't matter about the story, it doesn't matter about the narrative cohesion in any capacity. All that matters is that this guy's big, you can fight, and everybody's struggling against him, and we want to see him get destroyed, but he's always going to be remembered for being strong and big. I'll explain it the best way I can like this. This is probably the best method I can probably get you to understand my point. In Dragon Ball Z, when Goku first turned Super Saiyan, he beat Frieza. Right? That was an important moment. The transformation mattered because he beat Frieza. When Vegeta first transformed into Super Saiyan, he beat Android 19. That was a pretty pivotal moment, but that was pretty cool. He transformed for the first time, beat Android 19. Super Saiyan 2 Gohan. When he first transformed, guess what? He ended up beating Cell. When we, the audience, first saw Trunks transform, he ended up beating Frieza, and then had no other victories outside of that. He just popped up for exactly, I don't know, 45 seconds, did something cool, and was lame for the rest of his appearances, just kind of freaking out the entire time. I want to point out that that's it. Every time a new transformation was introduced after this, they lose. Super Saiyan 3 Goku has 0 victories outside of Hirudegarn in a movie. It has no other victories besides that. Super Saiyan 3 Goku just looks cool. That's it. Gotenks, no victories under his belt. Just a cool fusion. Super Saiyan 3 doesn't really matter. Ultimate Gohan, nothing. Just no victories under his belt. Ultimate Gohan could have won, but he got too cocky. Super Saiyan God Goku lost to Beerus. Didn't even win that fight. No way he won that fight. I'm not really sure to give this to Super Saiyan Blue, to be quite honest with you, because they had to reset time because Frieza destroyed the Earth, and then Wiz had to reset time. Not really sure if I give that to... I'm not sure if I give that to the Super Saiyan Blue. I don't know if I should give it to that. I don't know. Ultra Instinct did not beat Jiren. Ultra Instinct popped up and they had to team up as Frieza and Goku to push Jiren out the ring. Ultra Ego lost to Gas. I don't really know what to tell you. Ultra Ego lost. That's what happened. In Battle Shonen, when a new transformation pops up, you expect the hero to win, but Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball Super don't really seem to care about that at all. Especially after the Cell arc, it seems as though it's going into merchandising. I feel like it got to the point where what mattered was introducing new things as opposed to anything else. It definitely started in the Buu Saga for sure. In the Buu Saga, we got Majin Vegeta, Super Saiyan 3 Goku, we have Ultimate Gohan, and we have Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks. A bunch of new forms for some established characters just to sell Super Saiyan a bit more. Very much a Super Saiyan bargain sale, as Vegeta so adequately put it. That's exactly what was going on in Dragon Ball Z in the Buu Saga. Can't forget about Vegito either. Vegito just popped up. That was pretty cool. And then we had just variations of Buu. That was pretty nice. But I guess every villain has a bunch of forms, so it's not really fair to say that. It really is just merchandising overall at the end of the day. I'm watching one of my favorite things get turned into a piggy bank for Japan, and it feels gross to have this happen to one of my favorite shows. I'm not really a fan of this at all. That's all I want to complain about. If you like Dragon Ball Z and want to see more Dragon Ball Z stuff, then I'm proud of you. I'm happy you get to have more Dragon Ball Z stuff because I'm pretty sure it's never going to end. But as somebody that cares about at least some artistic integrity, I would enjoy it if the show stopped. Well, that's pretty much all I gotta say about Dragon Ball Z. You can disagree with me in the comments or be mad at me. You're more than welcome to. That's fine and dandy. I'm really just rambling. If you guys do like my content, then I want to see more of my rambles and more of me just in general, I guess. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see content similar to this. Also, I post 2 of these videos every single day. So, if you want to support me, I have a Patreon right here. Yes, that's right. A Patreon is going to be linked in the top comment. It's $1 a month. You get nothing, just general support. I would appreciate it if I got a little bit of support. If I can get all 200,000 of you to give me $1, man, that'd be so sick. I also have 2 channels as well on the side. I have a Cyril's Side Thoughts channel where I read Reddit stories, and then I have a Cyril's Plays channel where I just play a bunch of video games. So you can go over there and see that stuff as well if you want to. Well, I've got nothing else for you guys, so go ahead and just argue with me in the comments as I just look at them and not read your replies because I know you're just pissed at me. With that being said, I'm out. Peace.
I'm your Nick at night, be my loyalties low. Ooh, happy to try what you need. Your world, I love to live in it. Ooh, I love the ride when you're free.